Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with a pretty big declutter here. I do this I don't know, I try to do it about 4 times a year. I think I realistically do it maybe 2 or 3 times a year. But yeah, I've got quite a few here, so I'm just going to jump right in. Now, I know that some people get upset when they see people decluttering perfumes that they talked about previously that they really liked. I will tell you, most of these are being decluttered because they just didn't work on my skin. They were blind buys that just didn't work for me, or I've got other perfumes that they smell just like, and so they're redundant in my collection. I don't need, 3 fragrances that smell exactly the same. So yeah, it's not that I don't like these fragrances. They're all gorgeous fragrances. Some of them were just unsuccessful blind buys. They just weren't for me. Or some of them I really enjoy. They just don't work with my skin chemistry, unfortunately. So with that being said, let's jump right in. The first one that I will be decluttering is this one from Paco Rabanne. This is called Fabulous Me, and this was a blind buy, and this is a really, really nice fragrance. I got sucked in because it's got a pumpkin note in it. I don't smell anything pumpkin-y about this. To me, this is mostly a sandalwood fragrance. It's a really, really beautiful sandalwood fragrance. There's definitely nothing wrong with it. I just don't need another sandalwood fragrance in my collection. I am one of those people that Samsara is as much sandalwood as I need. That is my favorite sandalwood fragrance. This is gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, I just don't need it in my collection. It's also a very interesting bottle. It's like a padded, I don't know, it's like a padded, kind of like a padded envelope bottle almost. It's really, really cool. So anyways, that is the first one. That is Fabulous Me from Paco Rabanne. Okay, this next one is just a little baby oil. This is from Outremer, and this is called Apricot. This is apricot oil. I've never even used this. I didn't even test it, but I could tell as soon as I smelled it out of the bottle that it's not going to work for me. I've smelled other fragrances like this before that have that really kind of sweet apricot note in them, and they're beautiful. They just usually don't work on me. So because this isn't a sprayer, because this is something that you actually have to touch to apply, I didn't want to touch it. So I didn't even want to test it. I knew that it was probably a 90% chance it wouldn't work for me. So I knew I was just going to want to resell it, and I wanted to be able to do that with being able to say it hasn't been used or touched. So anyways, that is Outremer Apricot Oil. Okay, this next one I've had in my collection for probably about 3 years now. I really love this fragrance, but I have another one that smells exactly like it. I don't need 2 of these in my collection, and I knew I was going to declutter one of them. The other one it's the first formulation and the first time that it was offered from Zara. It was, which one is that called? Oh. Yeah, it's called Rose Gourmand, and it was the first run when they first released Rose Gourmand, which I've heard that they reformulated it when they took it away and then brought it back out. Apparently a reformulation happened in the middle somewhere. And because of that, I don't want to declutter my Zara. It lasts just as long. It smells almost exactly the same. So I will be decluttering my Swiss Arabian Florence. I love this fragrance. It's beautiful. It's almost a dead-on dupe for Mancera Roses Vanille. I mean, it smells almost exactly the same, but it also smells almost exactly the same as the Rose Gourmand. And yeah, I knew I was going to have to declutter one of them. I just chose this one because, like I said, the Zara one is it was like the first offering for Rose Gourmand, and I don't want to declutter that one. So, and they smell exactly the same. They perform exactly the same for me. So yeah, I thought I would just go ahead and declutter Swiss Arabian Florence because this one is still available. Yeah, So anyways, that is Swiss Arabian Florence. This next one is a Nina Ricci fragrance. This one, I was just a blind buy, and it's not that it didn't work for me. It's just not, it doesn't really, it's one of those fragrances, it doesn't really smell like anything on me. It just kind of smells sweet and like nothing. It's really strange. I think we all have fragrances that do that on our skin, that just end up smelling like nothing. Well, this is one of those fragrances on me that just doesn't smell like anything. So I'm not gonna keep it around because I will never reach for it because it doesn't smell like anything. Let me see if I can figure out which one this is. This is La Tentation de Nina is what this one is called. La Tentation de Nina from Nina Ricci. It's nice, it's sweet, it's really beautiful, but on my skin it's like nothing. It's really weird. So anyways, that is La Tentation de Nina. Okay, this next one is one that I just blind bought off of Mercari. I think this one had been recommended to me. It's been recommended to me over the years. This is Bvlgari Splendida Rose. This is an eau de parfum. And yeah, I've had a couple of these, like the Splendida Rose. I've had the Rose Essential, I think, as well, recommended. This is a brand spanking new bottle. Like, I sprayed it once. I don't know if it had been sprayed before that. I doubt it. I don't know. It's probably only been sprayed a couple times, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful rose fragrance. It's a pretty literal rose. It's really nice and fresh, crisp, kind of modern smelling. It's definitely like a green leaning rose. Really, really gorgeous. But I have 30 plus rose fragrances in my collection. I've got roses that smell like this. So because this one is almost brand new and I still have it in the box, I thought I'll just pass this one on instead of decluttering something else that smells like it. Because yeah, this one hasn't been used. So beautiful fragrance, but it's redundant in my collection. So that is Bvlgari Splendida Rose. These next couple, I picked up, these came in a bundle and I picked these up off of Mercari. I picked this one up in particular. This is White Diamonds Lustre from Elizabeth Taylor. I picked this one up in particular because it was being compared to some niche fragrance. And I cannot remember which one. I love the way this smells out of the bottle. It smells so like nostalgic and sweet and powdery, and you can definitely smell the original White Diamonds in there. But it's a really, really like nostalgic, make you happy kind of fragrance. But on me, this goes absolutely sickly sweet, and it just is one of those that it just doesn't jive with my chemistry at all. This one has got, it's got raspberry and pear in the top, which gives it this really beautiful sweetness, but it's got orris root in the base, which gives it this powderiness. It's really, really beautiful. It just does not work on my skin. So yeah, this one will have to go because of that. So that is White Diamonds Lustre from Elizabeth Taylor. And then this next one, this just came with that. The person was selling it in a bundle. This is, let's see here. I think this is Brilliant White Diamonds, and this one's nice. It's just not for me. It's a really clean, again, slightly powdery, soapy, clean, fresh fragrance, but I'm typically not a huge fan of the White Diamonds line, and just because of that, this isn't for me. It's just, and I wasn't seeking it out, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pass that one on. So that is Brilliant White Diamonds from Elizabeth Taylor. Okay, next is a Zara fragrance, and I need to declutter a whole bunch of Zara fragrances. After I do this declutter, I'm gonna go through this whole entire room and do like a massive declutter. I've got a bunch of Zara fragrances that I don't need. This was one of them. This is called Glitter Rainbow, and this has got, I think it's got like chocolate in it. It's just like a very light, sweet chocolate scent. It's basically like scented water though. I mean, I am not going to lie. This, I mean, you can almost not smell anything It's just like this slightly sweet, slightly chocolatey. Now, I bought this when it was first starting to get warm out, I believe, and that might have been it. Now that I'm testing it and it's a lot colder, it's a lot more fragrant. Yeah, it's a lot more fragrant than it was when I first tested it. So maybe it's not like scented water. It's but it's actually really, really nice. Do I want to declutter you? It's actually really, really nice. It's like sweet and a little bit chocolatey. It's actually really nice. So I am gonna still declutter it. As much as I want to keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna declutter it. But anyways, that is a Glitter Rainbow from Zara. This next one is, I went on like a Rochas kick and I bought a whole bunch of fragrances from Rochas. This was one of them, and I had to wait until it got cooler to be able to test this because I do believe it was already warm out and it was way beyond being able to test this. This is Rochas Byzance. And I think I said when I hauled this that it gave me Carolina Herrera Good Girl vibes, but that I would have to wait until cooler weather to test it and see what I felt about it. I did test this and it did give me very strong Carolina Herrera Good Girl vibes, but it's like a little bit of a spicier version of Carolina Herrera Good Girl. It smells just like Good Girl, but it's like it's way more spicy. It's really nice. I think anybody that likes Good Girl would really, really love this. I don't like Good Girl, so I ended up not liking this. So anyways, that is Byzance from Rochas. Okay, next we've got a Boucheron fragrance. This is another one that I bought when it was just starting to get warm out, and I had to wait until it started to cool down to be able to test this. This is another one. This is called Quatre from Boucheron. This is another one that I think I said when I hauled this that it had that synthetic cedar note in it that I don't enjoy. And I would have to wait for cooler weather to test this to see if that synthetic cedar note was still there, if it was just something I was smelling because it was warm out. It is definitely still there. I did test this on my skin. It's nice. It's kind of like it's a cozy fragrance. It's kind of like a cozy, slightly woody, very slightly sweet. It's not overly sweet. It's actually really, really nice, but unfortunately that synthetic cedar note comes out on my skin very strongly, and it just ended up not being for me, but this is quite a nice fragrance. But anyways, that is Quatre from Boucheron, and I will try to start getting these all listed for anybody that's interested. I will try to start getting these listed by about 5 p.m. tonight. That is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and maybe I'll give a little bit more time. Let's say maybe by 6 I'll start to get these listed. So, okay, next we've got a couple of Carolina Herrera Good Girl fragrances. So I had such high hopes for this one. This is Carolina Herrera Very Good Girl, and this was being, I think this was being compared to Delina from Parfums de Marly, which I like Delina. It's not my favorite fragrance in the world, but this, I don't get Delina vibes at all, honestly, from this. This is just, it's a really beautiful, bright, crisp rose, but on my skin, I got hairspray vibes. This just did not work on me at all. I love the bottles. I think they're so darn cute. But yeah, this just ended up not working on me at all. It ended up smelling like hairspray, like rose scented hairspray. So yeah, I was really sad that that didn't work out for me. So that is Carolina Herrera Very Good Girl. And then the other Good Girl I picked up is Carolina Herrera Good Girl Supreme. This is really beautiful. This is like a more tonka heavy, smoother version of Good Girl. And I love the way that this smells for the first couple of hours that it's on, because it does smell like a much more soft, well-rounded version of Good Girl. But after the first couple hours of wearing this, it dries down to smell exactly like Good Girl. And I don't like Good Girl. So yeah, this one will have to go. It's gorgeous though. And I love this bottle the most because it's got glitter on it. It's so beautiful. So anyways, that is Carolina Herrera Good Girl Supreme. Okay, next we have another one that I just picked up. I blind bought this. This was recommended to me and I ended up testing it on my skin and I did not like how it smelled on me. So I am decluttering it. This is Ralph Lauren Romance Parfum, and this is really beautiful. It smells just like romance, but it's like intense. It's richer, it's thicker smelling. It's like a much more intense version of the original romance. So I really, really like this. But yeah, I just didn't like what it did on my skin. It ended up actually going a little bit masculine on me, which was really, really strange, but it's really beautiful. It's like sweet and intense and really beautiful, but again, just not beautiful on me. So anyways, that is Ralph Lauren Romance Parfum. Okay, next is a Lalique fragrance. I am sad to let this one go because I wanted this one for a really long time. I think though my idea of what it was going to be was completely different to what it actually is. And yeah, so it didn't match up to my expectations. I really love how it smells. It's not anything I need in my collection though, because again, I've got 30 plus rose fragrances. I need to start being really, really selective when I bring a new rose fragrance in because I've got so many. I don't need this. This is Lalique Encre Noir pour Elle, and this is beautiful. This is like, this is a really beautiful, clean, soapy rose. I think I was just expecting something different and deeper, and this is very clean and bright and light and soapy. Good for any time of year, for sure. Great for any time of year, but I don't need another clean, soapy rose fragrance in my collection. I've got so many, I don't need it. It's redundant, and yeah, because it didn't really match the expectations I had. And it's a redundant fragrance for me, I'm just going to pass it along, even though it makes me super sad because it has been discontinued. It is difficult to find and it is very expensive when you do find it, but I'll let it go for a really good price. So hopefully it will make somebody else really happy. So anyways, that is Encre Noir from Lalique. Okay, this next one is this is an indie fragrance. This is one that I picked up from the House of Gloi. I think that I had an idea in my mind that this was going to smell something like Moschino toy, or the Bubblegum fragrance. This is called Bubblegum Soda, and it doesn't smell anything like the Moschino fragrance. This is a very light, bright, very fizzy, crisp, like soda fragrance. It reminds me more of ginger ale than bubblegum. And I think that that's what it is it doesn't smell like bubblegum to me at all. It smells more like ginger ale, which I was not looking for. It's gorgeous though. It lasts a really, really long time on the skin, or it did for me anyways. I did test this in the heat. It lasted really, really well for me. It's just not exactly what I was looking for, so I am going to pass it along. So anyways, that is the House of Gloi Bubblegum Soda. Really beautiful. Okay, this next one, I'm so surprised that I am letting this one go. I've had this in my collection for a long time, but last time I wore this, number one, my husband really, really didn't like it. Number two, something about it just didn't mesh well with my chemistry. It just wasn't smelling good on me. I like fragrances to really like melt into my skin and almost smell like they belong on me. This one didn't. This one was wearing me. I wasn't wearing it, if that makes any sense. And like I said, my husband really, really did not like this one. He told me I smelled really mature and he didn't like it at all. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to let it go, because after that day, I would probably never reach for it again, just because I didn't like the experience that I had with it either. What we're talking about is Sophia from Sofia Vergara. It's a beautiful fragrance. It gets compared to, and I say this every time I talk about this fragrance, because it gets compared to Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel a lot. It does not smell like Coco Mademoiselle at all. I mean, maybe the slightest bit, but I actually like Sophia better. This one's sweeter and smoother and more well-rounded. I love them both, don't get me wrong. Coco Mademoiselle is such an iconic, beautiful fragrance, but it doesn't smell like this, and this doesn't smell like it. It's just a really beautiful, kind of sweet, well-rounded, floral, patchouli. It's really, really beautiful. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what happened. Well, you know, our skin chemistry changes, I think, every 7 years or something. So maybe something happened between the last time that I wore it and then this time, that something changed, that it just didn't mesh with me. So yeah, I'm really sad, because I love the way it smells out of the bottle. I adore this fragrance. I think it's so stunning. It just didn't do good on me. So anyways, yeah, I have to say goodbye to this one. This is Sophia from Sofia Vergara. Okay, this next one I bought because I was going to do a dupes video. I have not been able to get it together, to get that dupes video together. And this perfume has literally been sitting for like, I don't know, 8 months or something, just sitting on my desk. And I don't really enjoy it, so I'm not going to keep it. This is the original formulation of Peace, Love, and Juicy Couture from Juicy. Now this is supposed to be like a pretty darn dead-on dupe for Chanel Cristal. And I could see that being the case, because it smells like a Chanel fragrance for sure. It's not my cup of tea at all, but it definitely smells like a Chanel fragrance. And I could imagine Chanel Cristal smelling exactly like this. One day I'll get a sample or something of Cristal, and I'll remember this smell. I'm quite sure it's a pretty darn good dead-on dupe for it. But yeah, this is not my cup of tea. This is kind of a astringent, aldehydic, slightly green fragrance. Just not my style at all. So really, really gorgeous. And like I said, I've heard this has been reformulated. This is the original formulation. So this one's definitely probably better than the newer formulation. But anyways, that one has got to go, because I'm never going to get that video together. And yeah, I don't want this to just sit there and, you know, go to waste when somebody could really be enjoying it. So that is Peace, Love, and Juicy from Juicy Couture. This next one, okay. This one was like one of the more controversial things that has happened on my channel for a while, because I have such an unpopular opinion about this fragrance. This is Mont Blanc's signature, and so many people love this because I guess it got hyped up in the fragrance community a lot. I missed out on that hype because I try to just do my own thing and stay in my own lane and not pay too much attention to what other people are doing. So I didn't know that this had gotten super hyped up, but I picked it up. Apparently this had been super hyped up. Apparently people have really strong feelings about this. I absolutely hated this fragrance. To me, and I'm going to be completely honest, I'm going to be 100% honest about my experience with a fragrance. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean that you shouldn't like it. And if you love it, if it's beautiful on you, I'm so happy that that was your experience with it. That's amazing. That's so much better of an experience than the one that I have. Because to me, on my skin and to my nose, something about this smells like straight up carpet powder. It smells like carpet powder that you throw down and vacuum up. Super overly synthetic carpet powder. Other people talk about getting this really beautiful, like creamy clementine vibe or note. Like they can smell this really beautiful creamy clementine. I don't get that at all. Like that's not the experience I'm having. It's definitely not a fake bottle. I had some people say maybe you got a fake. Nope, it's not a fake. It's just not And I don't think it's been reformulated at all either. I think it's a relatively newer fragrance. I'm not sure. But I just didn't have a good experience with it. I even had somebody tell me that I was childish because I didn't like this. Okay, I'm sorry that I didn't like something that you liked, and because of that I'm childish, but whatever. I haven't changed my opinion on it. I still don't like it, and I will be glad to get it out of my collection because it was such a, because it ended up turning into such a controversial thing for me. So anyways, that is Mont Blanc Signature. Okay, this next one is a Nobile 1941, 1942. I forget which, I can never remember if it's 1941 or 1942. It's Nobile 1940 something. They have trios. They've got a chocolate trio, a caramel trio, and this is the rose trio. This is the one in the trio that I had that I really did not like. This is like a super bright, and it's almost like the Mont Blanc Signature. It almost ends up smelling like a carpet powder or something on me. In fact, it's very much got the same kind of vibe. It's just rose instead of whatever citrus, clementine or whatever is in the Mont Blanc Signature. This is just rose instead. It's a super bright, crisp, modern rose though. It's not like a dated smelling rose. It's not an old-fashioned smelling rose in any way. It's just a super bright, modern, crisp rose that just does not smell good on me at all. So anyways, this one is called Rosa in Cantivol, and this is the number 1. I love the number 2. I still need to retest the number 3 and see if I love that. I may end up doing that and putting that in this pile before I list these. But anyways, yeah, this one's got to go. So that is Rosa in Cantivol 1, and that is from Nobile 1942, I think it is. Okay, this next one. This is another one that I'm really surprised that I'm decluttering this, but I have a niche fragrance that smells really, really similar that I like a whole lot better than this. And so I just don't need this because I will probably never reach for this. I'll reach for my Orlov fragrance instead. This is Trussardi Donna. This is the EDP formulation. This is a stunning fragrance. Do not get me wrong. This is a beautiful, sweet, floral, clean, slightly soapy. This can be worn any time of year. It's a stunning fragrance. And the only reason, this is a huge bottle, this is a 3.4 ounce. The only reason I'm decluttering this is because, like I said, my Orlov fragrance smells very, very similar to this. And because of that, I will probably not reach for this. If I want to smell like this, I will just reach for my Orlov. So I'm going to give this one a good home. And yeah, somebody else can enjoy this. So that is Trussardi Donna EDP. 4 more. So this next one was a Mercari find. I don't know why I bought this. This is a Puma fragrance. This is Puma. I don't even know what this one is called. It's a Puma fragrance though. And it's kind of like a gourmand fragrance. It smells really good, but I just know that I'll never reach for this ever. For some reason, I can't get into these sporty brand fragrances. And because it's some kind of a mental block for me, I'll just never reach for it. This one is pretty though. It's got maybe either caramel or praline or something like that in the base. It's a sweet fragrance. It's really nice, but yeah, I'll never reach for it. It is a tester bottle, so it's got this little plastic cap instead, but it's nice. It's like a nice little plastic cap. It fits on it perfectly and protects it. So anyways, that is, Puma fragrance. Okay, this next one is a niche fragrance. I got this in a swap. Number 1, I was never reaching for this. So I finally did one night. I thought, you know what, I'm going to wear it to bed. I'm going to give this a good wear test and see if it's something that I can pull out and just wear to bed, or if it's something that I would want to wear. And no, it smelled really, really bad on me. This one did not mesh well with my skin chemistry at all. This is a beautiful almond cookie scent though. This is called Orgasmo from Hildy Soliani. Yeah, Hildy Soliani. And it is a really, really beautiful, almond paste, marzipan, almond cookie, sweet, yummy, gourmand almond fragrance. A very true, literal almond marzipan fragrance. It doesn't smell good on me though, and I think I knew that. I think I tested it like when I first got it. It didn't smell good on me. I let it sit for like a year, never reached for it again. Finally did reach for it again, and my suspicions were confirmed. It doesn't smell good on me. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it on. It smells amazing though if you're into almond and like a yummy almond pastry, that kind of thing, you would really like it. So that is Orgasmo from Hildy Soliani. Okay, this next one is an inexpensive fragrance. I found this on, yeah, this is super inexpensive. I found this on FragranceNet, but you can't find it anymore. This is a fragrance called Monsoon Rose Gold. My lettering is kind of, it's not wearing off. It's just, it's like it's, I don't know, it's almost like it's tarnishing or something. It's really weird. But anyways, Monsoon Rose Gold. This is a gorgeous fragrance. I love how this smells out of the bottle. Oh my gosh, and it is an absolute beast of a fragrance. Yeah, super beast, but this is like a really strong floral patchouli fragrance. It is stunning out of the bottle. I wish it smelled the way it smells in the bottle on my skin, but it doesn't. This is one of those cases where I love the way it smells. It just doesn't smell good on me. It just doesn't develop right on my skin. And I guess that's the way to think about it, is something just not developing correctly on your skin. Like, you know how it's supposed to smell or how you want it to smell, but then it just doesn't end up smelling like that. That's how this one is. I love how this smells out of the bottle though, and I am so sad to declutter this one. This is one that I almost was like, no, I'm not decluttering that. I'm just gonna hang on to it. I don't care if I can't wear it. I can at least smell it out of the bottle. But then I was like, no, it's such an incredible, like, inexpensive beast of a fragrance. You need to pass it on and let somebody else experience the magic that is Monsoon Rose Gold, because it is magic. I love this, but yeah, it's unfortunately it just is not good on me. So anyways, that is Monsoon Rose Gold. This one is, yeah, out of everything I'm decluttering, this is the most gut-wrenching for me, for sure. Oh. Okay, and then last but not least, you would have just seen this. Well, you probably saw a few of these in our Disney Villains video. So this is one that I told you immediately. This is Love Chopard. This is one that I told you immediately I was going to be decluttering. Only because, again, it's a rose fragrance. I've got so many rose fragrances in my collection, and I've got probably 3 that smell just like this. And because of that, I just can't in good conscience hold on to this. I don't need it. I like all of the other ones that I have that smell like this better. So yeah, this one's going to be expensive to ship because it's so heavy, but yeah, I'll price it well because of that. Yeah, it's a good one though. Really gorgeous, very, very niche smelling, much more. This is one of those fragrances that smells way more expensive than it actually is. Because it smells, to me, it smells like Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood. That's what I get from this. Really, really beautiful rose fragrance. But yeah, I knew immediately I did not need this in my collection. So anyways, that is Love Chopard. And that is going to be it for this round of decluttering. Yeah, again, I will go ahead and get this one up quickly, and I will try to start getting those listed by 6 o'clock so that everybody has a fair chance if they are interested in them. I do hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.